What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. So, this is why I always say that you have to pay attention to what you're reading and know the source of information that you're getting your information from, okay? I put up the video about milk, and I should have known, and this thing actually got caught in the fucking filter. It doesn't really say anything bad in it, so I'm not sure why I got caught in the filter, but bottom line is, I don't like people that want to argue just to argue. And the problem is there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. And you can have all the knowledge in the world that you read from books, but wisdom comes with time. And wisdom comes with more knowledge that explains things that the first amount of knowledge didn't really fully explain. Now let me get into this, right? So someone, Maggot, awesome name, Maggot, okay, whatever, posted this comment, and he tries to sound really intelligent with this. He tries to, blah, 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 like he know. The problem is, it's half the story. This is the problem. So Maggot says there's an objective falsehood. The way he's talking, the way he wrote this, he wrote it to make it sound like very kind of informational and proper, which makes people, when you speak like that, because I don't speak like that, it gives people the impression that you actually know what the fuck you're talking about. Now, Maggot said there's an objective falsehood in this video. Humans developed an evolutionary genetic mutation centuries ago that gave us lactose enzymes after weaning. We are the only animals on Earth who do this. Pay attention to this, right? The gene mutation that is technically an evolutionary change as a species, and it is responsible for population booms centuries ago. So yes, it makes perfect sense that we would be the only animals that drink other animals' milk and continue doing it later in one's life. That's one of the reasons we are on the top of the food chain. Now, that whole statement has a whole bunch of shit in it that is going to get broken down right now, right? There's an objective falsehood in this video. Humans developed an evolutionary genetic mutation centuries ago. Genetic mutations come from a catalyst. They don't just happen. They usually happen through environment. Now, we adapt to our environment. That change was because as humans, what we could do, not because we should do, what we could do because as humans, we can do a lot of shit other animals can't. We kept drinking the milk. Therefore, after doing that for a certain period of time, that is how evolutionary change happens. We can do a lot of things that other species can't do, so we just fucking do them. Humans can rob a fucking bank. Therefore, they go fucking rob banks. You see a monkey robbing a bank? You see fucking... We can do it because we've evolved to the point that we can do pretty much anything that we want to, but that doesn't mean we should, okay? Now, that adaptation that came from centuries ago was because we kept fucking drinking the milk, so our bodies had no fucking choice, okay? We're the only animals that do this on Earth. That's what I fucking said. We are the only animals that drink another animal's milk because we can, not because we're supposed to or because we should, not because we had an evolutionary fucking change centuries ago that proves that we should. No, it proves that we did. We kept doing it, and then eventually we adapted to it. That just still does not mean, the point is fucking, we're not supposed to do that. We have a lot of genetic things that have changed in us evolutionary-wise. That is because of our environment that we adapt to survive. We kept putting this milk in our bodies after we were not supposed to centuries ago. In order to survive and flourish, our bodies adapted by changing a mutation in the fucking gene. Now we're able to drink the fucking milk. But how do you think that happened? It wasn't like nature somehow, after we weaned off the fucking milk and we no longer consumed it at all for any reason, right? Centuries ago, all of a sudden nature decided to change a gene in our body over fucking time that made us go back to milk after we stopped. We never stopped because we could. Think about it like this. Would you rather go hunt a fucking animal, chase it down and fucking kill it to eat it? Or would you rather just walk up to a fucking cow and suck on its udder? Which one is easier to survive? It's about survival centuries ago. It's not about what's fucking good and what's right. It was about survival. Do you want to go out there and fucking forage the fucking forest for berries and nuts and whatever the fuck, fruits, whatever you can find on fucking trees and vegetables and shit? Or do you want to walk up to the cow in the pasture and fucking drink the milk? Or fucking the goat and drink the milk? Or whatever fucking animals centuries ago they were drinking milk from. Pregnant animal, milk keeps us alive. They kept doing it. It wasn't like fucking we all of a sudden outgrew the milk. There was a period of time that humans just walked around making food or chasing food or fucking foraging for food. And all of a sudden, over time, one day humans woke up and that gene had fucking changed. It had mutated. So now we can go back to drinking milk. But what do? We feel different. Are we like vampires? Like we look at the cow and we go, suddenly with this new mutated gene, we go, oh, the craving for milk. It's like the fucking vampire craving for blood. What the fuck sense does this make? Like, this is what I'm talking about. People look at like the outside. This is the same shit that we're talking about with carbohydrates become glucose. Well, Jerry, carbohydrates are eaten. Evolution has fucking stated that basically no matter what we eat, carbohydrate-wise, turns into glucose in the end. But what happens to the body in between? You're saying that we started over here without that fucking gene. We started over here without being able to consume milk and be healthy. And our gene mutated to where we can. What happened in between there? The fact that humans were still fucking drinking milk and our bodies had no choice but to fucking evolve. Like, that's why we're on the top of the food chain. We're on the top of the food chain because we can walk on 2 feet, we have a fucking thumb, and we're smarter than everything else. We're not on the top of the food chain because evolution has given us fucking the ability to drink milk. We're not on the top of the food chain because fucking chickens suddenly decided to jump in our mouth and fucking we were able to eat them. No, we can fucking catch them and we can kill them because of our fucking skills of our hands and shit. We have the ability to do so many things that other, just our fucking thumbs. Our thumbs alone make us so fucking different that is something that fucking, you don't see other animals and shit. Even monkeys have like that weird thumb, but you don't see other animals and shit evolving like us to be able to fucking have those thumbs to do the shit that we do. Right? We have evolved to what we are because we fucking had to survive. Not because fucking evolution or the universe or nature was like, let's just give them the ability to drink milk today. Fuck it. Let's just give them thumbs so they can play fucking video games. That's not what it's about. So I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. Like, I get what is being said in this is a true statement, right? I understand that 100%. But all the information that makes this true, which I just said, is left out. So when someone reads this, they regurgitate this bullshit to someone else about we have a mutated gene. Okay, well, how did that gene mutate? How did evolution happen? It doesn't just fucking happen. It's an adaptation to your... Again, adaptation, right? This is what I've been talking about. Stress, adaptation. Our evolutionary fucking changes are due to adaptation to our fucking food supply, due to adaptation to our fucking climate, due to adaptation of our fucking daily living. It's an adaptation of our fucking lives. That's how we fucking evolve. But good God, I don't understand when people want to argue. Like, the problem I have, and maybe this is not like this maggot, maybe it is, maybe it's not. And I'm going to go ahead and approve this comment because we'll leave it up there. I'm hoping that this gets some discussion because I'm going to put this video up. Like, I understand that you're trying to be... maybe you're not trying to be helpful. Maybe you're trying to argue. Maybe you are trying to be helpful. But I understand that you're trying to basically put this information out a certain way that it reads a very proper way because that's the way you understand it. But you don't really understand it. You just know it. Knowing it is knowledge. Understanding it is wisdom. Okay, I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you're older than me, younger than me. But this is a statement that maybe like 20 years ago, I would have made some statements like that because I read it. I was able to regurgitate it exactly the way you wrote it because I read it somewhere like that. But truly understanding how that evolutionary fucking change happened and how that gene mutated and why we're at the top of the food chain, like, that's why we're at the top of the food chain, because we drink milk. No, it's not. It's because we have fucking thumbs and we can think fast and we can fucking think differently. Then we can actually think ahead into the future. We know if that fucking deer is running down that fucking trail, that deer is just fucking running straight. It doesn't know where the fuck it's going. It's trying to get away. We know if it keeps going, we can put a trap right there and that motherfucker falls in it. We can think ahead where other fucking animals can't. Like, there's so much more that goes to making us at the top of the food chain. Like, no offense, but fucking you put us in the water with a great white shark, we're still at the top of the food chain. We can kill that motherfucker. You take all of our technological advances out and just throw us in the fucking water. No weapons, no cages, no nothing, no cameras. Throw us in the fucking water with a great white shark. We are no longer at the top of the food chain. You throw us in a fucking swamp with nothing but our hands and a pair of underwear, that alligator is going to fucking eat us. We are no longer at the top of the food chain. We're at the top of the food chain because we can outthink things and we can create technology that makes us not be able to fucking be eaten. That's why we're at the top of the food chain. Not because of evolution decided to give us a fucking milk gene that allowed us to fucking drink milk. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. So, guys, listen. Be careful of the information that you read. Be careful of the information that you look at. Be careful to not look at things just for face value. Go deeper into them. Understand why. When I was a little kid, they'd be like, fucking, this is a cell phone. I'd be like, why? Because it calls people. I'd be like, why? Because you dial it and that's how we communicate. Why? Everything was why. When I was a teenager, I fucking took my guitar apart, which was not smart. I took the pickups out, I took the wiring out. I wanted to know how that fucking guitar, when I plugged that fucking cord in, made the sound coming from the guitar to the fucking amplifier. I took the whole fucking thing apart, ruined it. I basically took my time putting it back together after asking people about it because I wanted to know how it worked. But that's what makes the way I think differently. This individual, Maggot, which I don't understand the name, but cool, whatever, man. Maggot comes out with this statement, and I'm like, great, but what about everything else that's in there? Do you know why it was like that? Do you know how it works? If you did, you should have put that in the thing, but if you knew how it worked, you would make that statement to begin with, because that statement is a very misleading statement. Although true, it's false at the same time. It's not why we're at the top of the food chain. It's not why we are who we are. It's not why we evolved to drink milk. We evolved to drink milk because we never fucking stopped drinking milk. We were assholes about it, okay? Plain and simple, we were getting fucking lazy, we wanted to survive, and that was the easiest fucking thing for us to consume, was milk from other animals. We knew that fucking that milk was gonna keep us alive. Now, I'm not saying we didn't drink fucking rainwater and fucking stream water and eat fucking leaves and do whatever the fuck else, but we figured out really fucking fast that nourishes us, and it made us fucking sick. So we fucking kept drinking it because we didn't understand what the fuck was going on, because we were fucking weird back then. We weren't evolved mentally back then. So we kept fucking drinking that milk that our bodies had to adapt to survive. And that created over time that mutation in the fucking gene. That's it. It was not because we had a fucking milk does a body good. It's not because we had got milk ads coming up in the future. It's not because that fucking we knew that dairy farming would be a big thing in the fucking future. It's not because of any of that. It's not because we were fucking smarter. It's because we had the ability to fucking think a little bit differently. It's not necessarily smarter. I mean, those fucking animals that get away from us, that we try to kill, they're smarter than us because they fucking got away from us. Period. BioStraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. BioStraining.com is a blog. It's the We Are Smarter Through Evolution, but why? Bicep and we are out.